you have been like Josh, you might have missed this. You've been super busy the last couple of weeks, but most people will know as well that Kobe Bryant died recently.
Yes, I did see that, yeah.
Tragic, and died alongside his little girl, and I think it was 7 other people in his helicopter. Terrible news, and you'd think that would be a given, that it's really sad news. It's a private matter. You shouldn't really poke and prod it too much and interfere with it. But there are some knuckleheaded, I'm trying not to swear here because of the YouTube monetization, but
I swore in the first 30 seconds.
I would use other words if we weren't recording live, but some online entrepreneurs that have actually tried to capitalize on the, in speech marks, opportunity that Kobe Bryant's death has presented, and sort of jump on the momentum and on the hype and the trend and make money from it. So I thought be an interesting topic to talk about, because it brings into question ethics as a business owner.
I think it's kind of a tough one because he is such a superstar. So obviously people want to like have his memory go on. So I understand, like me personally, I've never followed any basketball. I genuinely didn't even know what it looked like until I knew the name, because it's just a household name really for basketball. I didn't know what it looked like, knew nothing about it. And I did see a lot of people in the UK like sharing, it's so sad and stuff. Like, and as an elite athlete, I understand that, but I personally didn't feel the need to say, put anything on social media. But people do to support and let the legacy live on. But me, because I've got nothing attached to it or knowing about it, I didn't feel the need to do so.
I think most people in the UK would be the same.
But I do understand when a famous person does die, like if it's someone that you've got a close connection to, even though you might not have met them, it's a good thing to do. But those that have exploited it in a bad way, which we discussed, I shared a post. So Grant Cardone, the like 10x entrepreneur of whatever, like he the day that he died,
was it the actual day?
I think it was the day that he died or the day after. They basically put out a montage video of Kobe, and in the literally, so it's like in fact, you got it on screen. Can you bring it up?
Got it, yeah.
So it's a black and white, for those that listen, it's a black and white video of Kobe.
Once upon a time, there was a young basketball player who had...
So straight from the word go, Grant Cardone's conference has got it's been the logo put in the top left corner for his conference.
So like, you don't even have to play the music, Joe, if you want to mute that. So it's a black and white video, and in the top left-hand corner it says 10x growth conference. So it's like nothing to do with his conference. It's just Kobe Bryant, like a really inspirational montage video, and he's just plonked his logo on it. Yeah. And I'm like, are you being serious? I watched the whole thing.
It's so shocking,
and then if you skip to the end of it, it just says like, oh, it's going to the end now.
Yeah.
It just says Kobe Bryant is 10x, and I would like, you're gonna have to beat me out. You're gonna have to beat me out.
Sorry,
go on, say it. What is it?
Be real.
I share, like, LinkedIn's a professional network, and what were the caption that I put to it? Like,
I think you said one man's death is another man's marketing opportunity.
Yeah, one man's death is another man's marketing material, and then I just put what, and it's like, I can't believe. In fact, you know what I can believe, but what the fuck?
Like, if he just put a tribute out, didn't put his conference branding on there, it would have been a nice, gesture. It would have got him exposure because he did it, but it still would have been done tastefully. But to just put a montage of Kobe Bryant, like iconic moments, and then completely unrelated to it, to slap your conference logo on there.
It proper stresses me out because he's a scumbag. He's like Grant Cardone's a scumbag anyway, because like he's gonna make so much money. Everyone follows it. Like what advice? Right, I'm sorry, but what advice is it in business to go, whatever money you want to make, just 10x it? That's not helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to make 100 grand this year. 10x it. Oh, you want to make $1 million? It's like, that's not helpful. Like, anyone who follows that crap, get a real job. Like, it's not, I just can't stand him. And he makes so much money. Like, there's absolutely no need for him to exploit that. And like, I don't even care. Like,
he doesn't need the extra business either from what this is going to do. And yeah, you're right. He's got people that love him, but at the same time, I think he's probably got a lot more people that hate him. So he's a controversial figure as well. But this was just like, this is a step too far, I'd say. And he got a lot of criticism in the comments from this. Yeah. So he put this on LinkedIn, and I read through some of the comments, and they were all negative. And I just think this is an example of distasteful, unethical approach to business. But unfortunately, like with the rise of the way social media works, is when you have massive current events like this, if you if you put out content in relation to that current event, you're going to jump on the trend and jump on the hype train. So that's what Grant Cardone has tried to do here. He knows a lot of people are talking about Kobe Bryant, thinking about Kobe Bryant. If I put out a Kobe Bryant piece of content, it's going to get me more exposure. And this is just an example of how following that marketing strategy the wrong way can just blow up in your face and just really ruin your reputation. I think it's disgusting.
So how else are people exploiting his death?
So another one, comedian Ari Shaffir. This is really bad as well, isn't it? So either the day that Kobe died or the next day, you know, still really raw.
It was like family. It was the day,
the day. Yeah. You know, and Kobe left behind a wife and 3 other daughters. You know, outside of the daughter that died. So the family is still dealing with, you know, this grief and this terrible news. Comedian Ari Shaffir goes onto social media, and I can only think it's for the same reason of trying to jump on a current event to get more exposure. And
apparently he does it quite a lot. Like, so if a celebrity or like a figure dies, like he does go on and he's quite outspoken about them. And basically what he did was he jumped on this because back in like 2001 or like back in like the early days of his career, he was accused of rape, like he was accused of sexual assault. It went to court, and the actual literature does sort of state that they both had different ideas of how consensual it was. And he did do it against, so his wife was like 5 months pregnant.
But he wasn't found guilty in court.
No, he wasn't found guilty. It was settled out of court. And he's been squeaky clean ever since, so like he's not convicted. But he still had that sort of lingering. But again, it's like...
But people have moved past it, haven't they? It was so long ago, it was not found guilty in court. So people...
so you're innocent until proven guilty.
And there's a whole redemption thing, isn't there? Like, you know, if you have unproven, you know, no decision was made in the past, but you've got some negativity around your reputation, you should be able to redeem yourself, you know.
100%. And have you got the video that Ari Shaffir did?
No,
yeah.
He basically...
Just go into Google and type in like Ari Shaffir. Ari, so it's A-R-I, and then Shaffir.
I suspect, right, that most of your listeners, most people that are watching this will not even know who he is. The only reason I know who he is because he's a friend of Joe Rogan's.
Yeah,
so
that's how I know him as well.
Yeah, the only place you're ever going to see him was Joe Rogan, really. And I'm only know that because of the MMA world. But he... I think that's it there. Like,
no, that's someone talking. The third one down. Yeah. So let's just introduce this first before we press play, Joe. So comedian, not as well known as the biggest comedians out there, like Joe Rogan and so on and so on. But he, on the day Kobe died, he posted a video on Instagram, and he also wrote a tweet. And in the video, he was basically saying he was happy Kobe was dead, kind of chuckling about it and laughing about it, saying it was 23 years too late. He should have died 23 years ago when this rape charge was put up against him. And basically, just the only reason I can think he was doing this was trying to just jump on the hype of Kobe Bryant dying, get exposure and raise his personal brand, I guess, out of this awful news. And he did a tweet as well, pretty much saying the same thing. If you can press play, we can watch it now.
There's always a lot of like pain in the world. Always a bunch of terrible stories. And every once in a while, there's a good story. Good story comes out. The guy who got away with rape.
So if you're listening to this, he stood outside a basketball stadium, recording a selfie on Instagram.
Bryant is gone. I'm here in Charlotte, the home of the team that originally drafted him. Maybe he wouldn't have raped that chicken Denver
so bad,
if he had stayed in Charlotte with the Hornets. But anyway, the point is. Maybe he wouldn't have raped that chicken Denver if he had stayed in Charlotte with the Hornets.
So you get the picture.
That's horrible.
And it was the day he died, man. If it wasn't the day, it was the day after. Smiling and like rejoicing in the fact that Kobe Bryant had died. The only reason I can think that he did this is to grow his brand, you know, and jump on this trend and this hype. But it blew up in his face as well. He got so much negative backlash from Instagram, Twitter. He actually said the next day, my Twitter was hacked and someone else did it. But what? He made this video, so clearly that wasn't what happened. He deleted the tweet a couple of days after. And also now, as a result of all this negative backlash, people were saying, protest him, go outside his shows and protest him. He's actually cancelled. If you can find his website, he's actually cancelled all of his upcoming comedy shows. Like this did not go well for him at all. Yeah.
Nike's dropped all their merchandise, haven't they, as well?
Are they?
Yeah, they've dropped all the merchandise. Kobe's just to stop people from reselling it.
Yeah.
I've looked on eBay, and it's bad. Literally loads of people selling stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
Obviously not going to buy anything, but
I mean, I've got less gripes against like, you know, your person at home trying to sell some merch on online, but if people who are already established and stuff and they're just jumping on it because of the hype, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me. And especially you're trying to get attention by laughing at someone's death too, like terrible. And any final points on that?
Nah, it's just, I mean, last thing I want to say is about helicopters, to be honest, because like I spent 7 years in military, right? And every deployment we had a helicopter with us and it were always broken down. Like I've been in 3 helicopters, and the one that I were in the Navy, it were a little Wildcat. It were broken all the time, scary as all. And I remember speaking to the pilots about it, about like how sort of fragile they are, and they are just going to drop out of the sky. And before I went to Vegas to get married, my missus were like, "Oh, we should do I've done a helicopter ride over Grand Canyon previously."
You have.
This was going to be the second time, so she was like, "We should do a helicopter ride over Grand Canyon." I'm like, "Absolutely not! I am not getting in a helicopter ever again.
Are you not doing it again?
Ever in my life?" And I'd said that, and then this was like a month before we were going away. Literally the day after, so there's an airline in Las Vegas called Papillon. So it's Papillon is French for butterfly. Yeah. They crashed with a couple in the Grand Canyon. People survived though, like they somehow survived. Yeah, but this were like, so this was like a month before we got married. And Danielle's like, "Well, it ain't gonna happen again. You know, we should go."
Lightning never strikes twice in the same place.
Listen, right?
That's some weird logic there.
I've been in 3 helicopters. Never, ever am I getting in a helicopter ever again.
I'd love to go in one, but I think I need a parachute. If I was going to get in one.
What are you going to do?
Just jump out the door.
If
see it?
It's coming down. You just get
out,
like,
spin it to the side and jump out.
No way. Like, there's just no gliding. There's nothing. So
that's it. If a plane loses engine and stuff, it can still glide down and safely land. But if a helicopter, you're just going to drop out the sky.
I've watched I listened to the air traffic control back from Kobe's actual movements. Yeah, and so basically what happened was like they were holding to go to an airfield, dense fog, and they get basically passed from one air traffic control to another, and there was no talk of anything, but it was just too low. In the fog,
went straight into the mountain,
straight to the side of a mountain, and again, so that it wasn't even like it were engine failure. I mean, look at the Leicester City boss. Do you see that video?
Yeah. We're drifting off topic
here. Sorry, but don't get a helicopter.
I just want to say, if you are a marketer or an entrepreneur and you've got a content strategy with your marketing, if a big celebrity dies, just don't do anything. You don't try and use it to your advantage. The only thing you really can do is say rest in peace and leave a tribute, but don't see it as an opportunity. It never works.
Yeah, it's just not ethical, is it?
No.